Chapter 1. To launch something new, you need a good plan. If you want to start working towards a new endeavor, it stands to reason that you need to plan carefully. Very few ideas go from 0 to 100 with no hurdles along the way. A plan helps you stay on track and identify any challenges that may stand in your way. This is also the case when working in your current job. You need to know how to act and what not to do in order to generate opportunities for improvement. Starting a new job can be daunting. You can ease the waters by focusing upon your goals. Of course, as a new employee, it's down to you to also plan carefully for your unique project and what comes next. You can do that with a few easy steps. Understand what your manager expects from you and ask questions if it isn't clear. Sometimes managers just expect you to know, but you're not psychic. Explore different ways you can help the company to meet its objectives. Be proactive. Ask for extra responsibility. Introduce yourself to different people and ask to learn more about their role. Ask questions of your new colleagues and be sure to listen to the responses. Stay out of any cliques or conflicts. Nothing good will ever come of involving yourself with drama or gossip. Set short-term goals to keep you on track during the first few months. Work towards achieving them and then set new goals. Meet your deadlines to show your manager that you are a reliable employee. Be punctual at all times. Again, to show your manager who you are and what you're about. Sometimes the basics are the most important things. Very few people go into a new job and have this mindset. They're too focused on being the new person to someone everyone is familiar with. If you want to make sure you succeed in your role and look towards future promotional opportunities, a plan is what you need. Think like an entrepreneur, act like a CEO includes 50 tips to help you be as successful as it's possible to be. Throughout the summary, we've summarized some of the most useful. You'll learn exactly how to develop your career into something you can be proud of and fulfilled by. Is that something you're keen to learn more about? If so, read on. Chapter 2. Think like an entrepreneur, no matter what your job title is. When Beverly Jones was in her 20s, she never thought she would run a business. Instead, she focused on having job security and earning enough cash to live a good life. To that aim, she worked for a law firm and set out to work in a reliable and high-quality way. Beverly Jones didn't realize it at the time, but her attitude was slowly starting to get her noticed, and from there, she would build her own empire as she recruited her own clients. She soon became a partner in the firm, giving her more responsibility. She quickly realized that the organization was a combination of small parts that produce products and services, creating the bigger picture for the company. Through all of this, she realized that to be successful, she had to start thinking like a CEO, even if she was far from that level. No matter your job title, thinking ahead just like a CEO helps you develop the right mindset for future growth. Beverly Jones gives you some valuable tips on how to do just that. These include: understand the overall mission of the organization as well as what you're aiming towards. You need to see the bigger picture. A company's customers have the power to make or break a business. Make sure you focus upon their needs first and foremost. By doing that, you'll have the opportunity to increase your customer base. Understand what the business does and how it does it. You don't need to know precisely how to carry out every single function, but you need to have an overview. When something goes wrong, look for the lesson and learn from it. Things will always go wrong in business, but it's how you bounce back and learn from your mistakes that counts. It may be that you're not a CEO level or anywhere near, but adopting these habits early on means that when you do reach a point in your career that allows you to have control over a business, you'll be a much stronger candidate. Of course, it also helps you to perform better in your current role and shows your manager that you're someone who has potential. When they see that, they're going to consider you for promotion opportunities, and they will want to help you improve. Did you know? According to Forbes, 90% of the latest American billionaires are all self-made entrepreneurs. Chapter 3. The basics will serve you well. Listen to succeed. Listening is an essential skill that will help you endlessly throughout your career. However, very few people know how to listen correctly. Most assume that it means hearing words, but it's not simply that. You need to watch people's body language, hear their tone of voice, refrain from interrupting, and avoid interpreting their words from your own point of view. It also means looking at their facial expressions and listening to your gut in terms of what they mean. By listening correctly and paying attention, You will not only connect on a deeper level with the person you're communicating with, but you'll be able to read between the lines accurately. Sometimes people don't tell you exactly what they mean, but their body language gives them away. You can develop stronger relationships and connections by listening. What are they really trying to tell you? A good rule of thumb is to put yourself in their place. Use your empathy skills and imagine how it would be to see things from their side. This doesn't only help you to listen better, but it also allows you to become a more empathetic person and future manager/CEO. There are many situations in which you can practice your listening skills. For example, when you're joining a new team or meeting new people, avoid feeling the need to talk too much, but instead listen and pay attention to what people say. If you're in the role of a leader, be sure to listen before you speak. Your team members may not want to say precisely what they mean right off the bat, but by showing them that you care about their thoughts and feelings, you'll become a better manager. But at times when we think we're listening, we're sometimes focused on something else, such as what we want to say next. When you truly concentrate on deep listening, you'll come across to your boss as alert, centered, and respectful. Beverly E. Jones. Chapter 4. Dealing with conflict well sets you apart as a leader. Of course, there are situations where it is harder to listen than others. For instance, if you're in the middle of a debate, or you're trying to state your side of a situation, it's easy to want to interrupt and get your words in. Try avoiding this as much as possible. It's far more effective to stop and listen. This reduces the chances of conflict and strengthens bonds. It helps people understand that you care about their side of the situation and proves that you're truly listening. Acting as a mediator between conflicting employees means staying impartial. This is a crucial skill for a leader. A good manager is able to handle conflict well. This isn't the easiest situation to be in, and it's understandable that you'll want your employees to try and work it out between themselves first. In some situations, however, that's just not possible. A leader can handle a conflict and find a way through it without upsetting anyone, without damaging morale, and without making anyone feel blamed or misunderstood. It's vital to avoid taking sides and to allow both people, or all people, to have their say. Remember, listening isn't all about hearing words. It's about interpreting other nonverbal signs effectively as well. Getting it right is the aim. Getting it wrong is something to avoid. Communication skills are often overlooked. We assume it's just about talking, but in situations like this, the ability to not only listen properly, but to make people feel like you're listening is extremely important. This is a skill that will serve you well in your regular life, just as much as your professional one. Chapter 5. Show your best side to the world at all times. What is your personal brand? How do you show yourself to the world? This is something you need to pay strong attention to. We all have different sides of ourselves, including the personal and professional. If you want to be successful in your career, you need to ensure that your professional side is always not too far away from the surface. Both sides blend to make up who you are. Always remember to be true to yourself. Your personal brand needs to be professional, but it also needs to reflect the true version of you. Your personal and professional sides, when blended together, affect how people respond to you. We've already talked about listening, showing people that you're paying attention, and being empathetic. And those skills show who you are. Of course, companies brand goods or services in the marketing world and show how they're different from those offered by competitors. Yet, it goes beyond that. The brand also talks about how customers feel about the goods or services provided and how they feel about the company as a whole. Take Coca-Cola, for instance. When you hear the words, you don't just think about the drink. You think about the entire company, its advertising campaigns, what it stands for, and how it makes people feel. Do not overlook the emotional side of branding. How do you and your company make people feel? Make sure it's positive. The same goes for your personal branding. What people think about you and how they react to you affects how successful you're likely to be in your career and life in general. Sometimes people don't have a firm handle on how they come across to other people, but you can make sure that you're not negatively affecting it by following these tips. Ask for feedback and take suggestions on board. Appear professional at all times and make sure the way you speak and how you carry yourself is equally as professional. Push forward the work you're doing and promote it through speeches, reports, and articles. Chapter 6. Never underestimate the power of networking. You can't just expect people to know about you and what you have to offer. You need to put yourself out there and get the word out yourself. Networking isn't about handing out random business cards to people you meet. It's about having a targeted approach to spreading the word. Word of mouth certainly does get around, but you can't rely upon it. You have to be proactive and really push your name out into the public space. Of course, it also means ensuring that you're moving it in the right direction. Who do you want to be noticed by? What area is essential to you? Be sure to have a plan before you set out on your networking journey and see every single interaction as a chance to talk about what you're working towards and where you see yourself in the future. Your network is a complex pattern of interconnecting relationships with other people. It is a series of concentric circles that spread out like a spider web from you. Beverly Jones. Several strategies can help you become a better networker. These include always being approachable and helpful to other people. You never know when a good deed you do may be paid back to you in the future. Support other people and help them get along in their career. Make sure that you stay present in the moment and don't jump ahead too much. You may be overlooking someone who can help you progress. Don't assume that networking only happens at events or conferences. You can network in the local supermarket or even at the gym. Networking can happen anywhere, at any time, so always be prepared. Networking isn't about boasting. It comes down to telling people what you can do and putting your name out there. At some point in the near or distant future, that person may then remember your name and need your services. Then they would call you for help. The more people that do this, the more successful you will become. However, networking takes effort, and you need to constantly be on the lookout for opportunities to make your name known. When networking, always be kind, personable, and friendly. People always remember a smile. Conclusion. Think like an entrepreneur, act like a CEO. Helps you change your entire attitude to your future success. You might think that right now you're nothing more than just a cog. But remember, those cogs are vitally important. Every cog keeps the wheel moving, and from there you can work to be noticed and move up the ladder towards the top of your chosen career. It's entirely possible to have a career that starts right at the bottom and works its way right to the top. It all comes down to how you show yourself to the world, what you do, and your entire mindset. Don't just go to work. Do what you have to do to get paid, and then go home. Work towards something more. Learn about the organization, understand its values, and ask questions of those around you. We spend a large portion of our lives at work. That's a lot of time just to get by and not have something to challenge you and push you. A high-quality, enjoyable career can be a real defining moment in your life. Of course, you can simply do your work and forget about it, or you can create a career that you enjoy, something you're proud of, and a legacy that goes beyond your retirement. By viewing your current boss as a client, you can ensure that you create opportunities, helping you to move through your career and overcome any challenges that come your way. You might not be at the CEO level right now, but who knows where your career will lead if you put forth the effort, with a view to what may come in the future. Work on your personal brand, ask questions, be curious, and treat every opportunity as a huge chance to go one step further than you ever have before. When you do this, you open the doors to change, and with extra effort and goals to help you stay on track, the world is your oyster. Try this. Set yourself realistic goals and work to achieve them. Practice active listening. Don't interrupt. Simply listen and interpret instead. Work on your personal brand. How do you want the world to react to you?